they've always traditionally always had a front set. Jarrell Casey was a guy who was there for
Mm-hmm.
many years. He caused havoc. He was like a bigger version of Aaron Donald. So they've always found a way to find these guys, find these gems to be able to play the D-line position the way it's supposed to be played, the way you want it to be played. But I'm worried about the back end of our defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you got guys like Julio Jones that just, that he had a breakout year or breakout game last week. What do you have, over 128 yards receiving on 6 receptions? You got your AJ Brown over there. So, man, this team is structured to ground and pound you and be able to throw the ball up to 2 big, tall receivers. And it's scary. And they also not only can hurt you in the passing game, but the running game as well. They're big bodies. We have little guys on that back end. So this game concerns me a lot. I know it's a division game. I know both of these teams are very familiar with one another, but this team frightens me. They really do.
Yeah, they do. They very much do, especially when you're looking at guys that have injuries on the defensive side, right? We may end up 3 games in a row without our number 1 corner in Xavier Rhodes. Darius Leonard's still out there with that hobbled ankle, right? There's all sorts of problems that we're dealing with. I mean, look what Cooper Kupp did against the Colts last week. My goodness.
Yeah, we have our hands full. But the only thing that keeps me optimistic is the fact that Tennessee last year, I Bleav they had 12 turnovers, right? The second fewest in the NFL. Now, in 2 games, they have almost half of that total. So they are giving the ball up a little bit. But that's our hope. That's our hope. We have to be able to change the math and create some turnovers and get back on track to this 40+ turnover season. So this game it can go either way. Obviously, it depends on if a quarterback is healthy. Can he play? Can he not play? And that changes to what you do offensively, and it also changes how you want to play defensively. I think from looking at last week's game, I know Matt Eberflus isn't a guy that likes to send a lot of pressure, but we're not getting guys home. We're not getting sacks. I know we're getting pressure. It's just as good as it's disruptive, but we need guys to bring the quarterback down, change the math, start the opposing offense from get them off track, get them off schedule, and we're not doing that right now. I know it's early, it's only the second week, but we need Kwity Paye. We need him to step up. He's shown flashes, but if you're going to be a difference, we're looking for difference makers. And when you get drafted as high as he did, you need to be a difference maker on that field.
Yeah, Kwity Paye was talking earlier after the game, talking about he's went up against 2 veteran left tackles and why it's so difficult for him, and he said that it's difficult for him because he's a rookie and he don't have much of a changeup, and these guys are really good at handling his initial moves.
Right.
And he said what that helped him in was to more focus on the run defense, rather than focusing so much on the pass defense. But to your point, we need him to be that pass rush guy.
Right. They didn't draft you to stop the run. Hell, man, you can stop the run. We put on pass big enough. We can do that. We need you to change the math. We need you to be a difference maker. Have you heard of a guy named Robert Mathis? Have you heard of a guy named Dwight Freeney? Those guys changed the math when they played for the Indianapolis Colts. They're looking for you to do the same, brother. I know he's young. I know it's going to take some time. But if I were in that locker room, Lawrence, and if I heard that press conference, and if I heard Kwity Paye speak like that, I would tell him, listen, from here on out, for the duration of this season, every left tackle, most of the interior offensive linemen are going to have more experience than you. And you can't beat most guys in the NFL with one move. You have to have multiple moves. You have to have counter moves. You watch a guy on the other side. You watch a guy like Aaron Donald. The guy, I watched him, I forget who had they highlighted the matchups between Quentin Nelson and Aaron Donald. And the guy has multiple moves, a multitude of moves. And he does it so much. His hand movement and hand placement is so elite you know, he just dominates you in that area. So I know he's young, he has a lot to learn. Hopefully, if my buddy Robert Mathis is out here, because he does train some guys, I would love for him to get with Kwity Paye.
Yeah, if he thinks he's had problems with a couple veteran guys, he's going up against Taylor Lewan, and that is he's easily a top legit 10 left tackle out there.
Right, he's legit. And you know what? He's in your division, and I think this is a learning curve for him. You need to know, especially know the guys that are within your conference and watch how they get beat. And it's a copycat league. I know you've heard that saying a long time. It's a copycat league, and it's no different than how a guy gets beat off a route, how a guy gets beat on a sack. So you know, he's got a lot to learn in that area. But I do like his hustle. I do like his energy that he plays with. I do like all of that. He made some really good plays last week. But you know, this team has to get healthy, man. This is not the way to start a season off. You have to get healthy because you have a long way to go. And you know, if they're going to have any chance of winning this game, you know, you got to play mistake-free football. You're going to have to, and you got to the defensive unit has to take a step up. You know, I don't expect teams to come out, units to come out and be dominant from the beginning, but just show flashes. And to me, it seems like, you know, they've been absorbing the blow as opposed to being the initiator on defense rather. And this team, I want them to find their identity, and it starts by beating a very good opponent. And it could start this week if all things the football guys bless this organization, but they have their work cut out for sure.